And good evening. A cyclist has died at a junction that has a history of cycling accidents. The collision with a truck happened this morning in Ludgate Circus, where it meets Fleet Street in the City of London. There have been 6 serious injuries there since 2008. Nick Beak reports.
Captured on a mobile phone by a worker in a city office block, the aftermath of another cyclist death in London. The blue police tent masking the full horror. Paramedics said there was nothing they could do to save the man. For much of the day, this part of the city around Ludgate Circus was sealed off. This is an accident black spot, which worries commuters on 2 wheels.
I was probably on this road about 5 minutes before the collision because I was cycling into work as I normally do, and I think I actually spotted that lorry there. It must have been much bit further behind me, but I was a few of us cyclists talk about how this area, the Spot Junction area, seems to be a bit of a danger zone.
In fact, 6 cyclists have been seriously injured here over the past 6 years, and some campaigners are angry it's not on a City Hall list announced in February of 33 specific junctions which will be redesigned.
We really need action here, and I'm hoping that Andrew Gilligan and the Mayor and TfL will get on and get this redesigned as soon as possible.
Today, though, these workers had the grim task of retrieving the victims' possessions, as well as medical equipment that was to no avail. Well, it's only now, after 4.5 hours, that they're finally reopening this normally very busy part of London. In terms of what exactly happened this morning, that's not clear, but investigators will be studying CCTV of nearby roads. Police did say, though, they'd arrested the driver of this lorry, a 53-year-old man who was being questioned on suspicion of causing death by careless driving. Some cyclists feel they're not being protected.
As a cyclist, it's really scary. Every time you hear of a death, it's typically a left-turning lorry, and sometimes I feel it's just not enough done in terms of the infrastructure and spending on cycling safety.
City Hall today insisted this spot will be redesigned as part of a new north-south route for cyclists. In a statement, the Mayor's Cycling Commissioner, Andrew Gilligan, said this junction is one of the main junctions on the new superhighways, which will be consulted on this year and will be given a fully segregated junction as part of a fully segregated cycle route. For now, though, for the 3rd time this year, a family of a London cyclist is tonight grieving. Nick Beak, BBC London News.
Well, our political correspondent Carl Mercer joins me now, and of course any cycling death will inevitably lead to questions over what is being done to improve safety.
Yeah, and I think we saw that most clearly, didn't we, at the end of last year. In November there were 6 cycling deaths over a 2-week period, and that led to a big campaign from the very vocal, very well organised cycling lobby and saying, look, we need to do something, particularly about HGVs of the type involved in today's accident. Last year there were 14 cycling deaths in London, 9 of those involved HGVs, and that has led to the Mayor saying that he may consider banning HGVs from central London if they don't have particular safety devices, particularly when they're turning left, something like sidebars on the side to stop the cyclists going under. So that's one of the key things that has happened after previous deaths.
And as we heard in Nick's report, this junction is part of a new segregated scheme.
Yeah, and segregated is the key word. It's what the cycling lobby have been pushing for, and that basically means you separate the cyclists from the rest of the traffic. And I think there's been some sort of recognition at City Hall that perhaps some of the first superhighways that went in weren't best designed, and they have promised to say, look, when we put them in the future, and the old ones, we're going to go back, redo them and make sure they're segregated. And they're also spending £300 million looking at 33 junctions, a Better Junctions campaign they call it. But as you say, any death like this again focuses on the actions of City Hall.
Absolutely. Carl, thank you. Our political correspondent Carl Mercer there.